But I heard that in C, actually, people still try to win, even if they're flaming each other. Like, they don't give up, but they're just it's like non-stop flame.
They don't give up?
That's what I heard.
Are you sure?
Okay, I'm going to take your word for it.
You're sitting in a 100-degree LAN cafe. Come on, man. I don't blame somebody giving up.
Okay, so they banned out the Bristol this time instead of the Nyx, and they give away Beastmaster. Not sure if I'm a fan of that, but
maybe they were hoping to get it themselves.
Yeah, a little bit surprising that we haven't seen the Seneco IO, and they're going to go ahead and take it with the NP. And again, NaVi, a team that's historically ran the NP in the safe lane with Dityarat, as well as the off lane with General. Again, Fnatic forced to address the Drow here possibility.
I think that maybe NaVi are going with the idea that in game 1, they had kind of a similar opening. I think it was Venge NP instead of the Wisp. But if you can control the lanes and you can get that early momentum, then I feel like NaVi, they're good enough at playing the lanes to get to that point. And if they just don't like completely misplay their mid game, that they could probably snowball that into a win.
Timber is really good versus these two heroes though. Io is very weak against Timber. Prophet is very bad against Timber in the lane as well, so Timber is going to have a good time.
Question for me though is what you got to be able to pick something to punish
stuns.
Timber.
They need stuns. If they do a no stun draft against Timber, Timber's just going to destroy
Venge was their only stun, so I hope they get that base covered for sure.
Now that's scary, as you're already staring down the barrel of a Timbersaw where the other team has the disable advantage at this point.
And I don't feel like you can even go something like Nyx either, because it makes your lanes incredibly weak. And then you have a free farming Beastmaster somewhere, and then life is hard.
So you see they ban out the Invoker, one of the few heroes that can ruin the Timbersaw's life in the game. So heroes remaining that are good against Timber.
OD.
OD.
OD's good against Beast and Timber though.
Yeah, but
they're not gonna pick it.
I know it's not in the I know it's not in the meta, but Lena's not bad either. She can generate a lot of burst damage against Timbersaw.
She's just gonna get destroyed this game.
Zeus could be pretty good. Can burst through, doesn't care about reactive but no one plays it.
It's a lot of burst, but then again, Timber just needs to adjust items. Like you just need to get a hood or a pipe, then you can actually deal with that. I think primarily against Timber, you need disable, you need stuns, you need silence or lockdown against him.
Well, you can reach your backstab for that. I think Disruptor could be good for either team, really. But Sand King grab for NaVi this time.
Is that like a safe lane general Prophet and then off lane Sand King? Or
I don't think you know at this point.
Mid Sand King against Timber.
That's great against Timber mid lane.
Yeah, that's actually a very good idea against Timber.
I mean, because reactive to that.
No, but you can always adjust. You can always adjust. You can put Timber against.
Well, it's just Fnatic. Yeah, game 1, they're like, you know what? Just change it up. Everyone go everywhere else.
Timber doesn't have to go mid against the Sand King. You can always adjust.
Right, and that's something we've seen a number of teams. I believe Vici Gaming has played around with that with Daryl, with Ice on safe lane Timbersaw. A number of teams have tried that recently.
So they have a stun, they have Timber to do damage.
He's Raptor, dude. Good against Wisp. Nature's Prophet could help get the catch there. Otherwise, I mean,
I think the problem with Disruptor is that if it's offlane Fury and the Fury gets a lot out of that lane, like Disruptor gets owned by trees.
Then Witch Doctor.
Yeah, only Witch Doctor can actually do pretty well against the Treants early. I mean, you say that Prophet is still pretty open in terms of where he's going, right? Because NaVi does run like the safe lane Prophet. So their lanes are very, very open. It's very difficult for Fnatic to judge what is NaVi gonna do. They have a lot of like global presence with the relocate and the Prophet TPing around.
I think this is when NaVi feel the most comfortable though. They have a bunch of heroes that can do whatever and they can fight.
They might pick like Tinker though, like Tinker.
Oh boy.
Now this is a new one.
That's actually, it's interesting. That can be a very good hero against the Timbersaw as well.
Instant Husker.
Wow.
In Skyroth is
this means it's guaranteed Sand King mid, right?
What's that
Sand King support? Sand King can still do support, right? Like just do another
but that would be a little bit weird because Seneco is their Wisp player, and that would leave Artstyle and Sand King.
I don't think Artstyle's played Sand King.
So Sand King is more or less confirmed to be a call.
Yeah.
So right now the Husker will be really good versus the Skyroth. Husker will be really good versus the Skyroth Beastmaster combo. So that's that for them, and Fnatic needs much more physical damage against the Husker.
Are you not tempted to just grab up the AA when you're going against a Wisp and Husker here for Fnatic? Do you think it's more valuable going elsewhere?
But then you have AA and Skyroth support duo, which is really weak.
That sounds
awful. It sounds awful.
How do you do anything to Furion with those supports?
Well, you can
try to run at him.
Your lane is done for if you do that against Prophet.
I don't know. You get early bots on Beastmaster, roar him, and he dies instantly.
I mean, you say early bots, but then you don't get a book, and then roar without a book is just. So this is a good answer actually.
This might be Mushi mid Kunkka.
You don't think this is support?
I don't know.
Support Kunkka is actually really legit. I think in this game.
At this rate, it could be a support Beastmaster, 5-position Skywrath, and then they can put the Timbersaw to avoid the matchup against Sand King and have Kunkka mid or something.
Yeah. So you got, I mean, it seems like a little bit overkill, but you've got X Torrent into Mystic Flare boat, and the boat buff, the rum buff on Timbersaw is actually terrifying.
Yeah.
Like if he just shoots through that boat, gets the rum buff on him, he can just move around through the fight.
They have a lot of catch right now with the Kunkka plus Beastmaster. They have the vision from the Hawk and then X Mark and Raw to catch heroes out. And very, very good team fight with the boat.
Yeah, they think it's they have to think it's.
I still think they need
really good Oracle.
I still think they need physical damage right now for Fnatic against the Huskar, despite having a lot of team fight. They need a hero. I'm not sure about Kunkka being a core this game. Ursa?
Yeah, Kunkka, the more I think about it, Kunkka has to be a support.
Ursa's pretty good versus Huskar.
It's also a Roach Killer, which they don't currently have.
Well, you need a Roach Killer who's good at man-moding against Huskar. Troll Warlord is your
Troll is actually not terrible, because there's only one stun on Navi. But it's the same reason why Ursa's good too, right?
Well, unless you're FDL, I don't know if you're playing it.
Yeah, true.
But it's kind of weird. The Troll's really awkward, right? It's kind of weird. You already have the attack speed aura from Beastmaster.
That or PA, but these are just heroes that just don't see the light of day anymore.
Weaver.
Yeah, that's a... Okay, Navi come back right with this. This is a total Navi draft.
They have so much heal for the Huskar with the IO plus the Chen.
Yeah,
and it is going to be a Dendi mid Sand King, guys. I'm going to get final thoughts from you, but I got to say, I think this is vintage Navi draft. I think if they clean up their execution and play well, that this is Navi all the way.
I like Navi as well on this.
I'm gonna say Navi.
Well, the first two games, the team that I said lost, so I was gonna say Navi, but because of the first two games, I'm gonna say Fnatic.
Are you playing the mind games here with this
He's gonna mind game himself so hard, he's just gonna be wrong again.
Wow, yeah, I can see that happening. All right, well, with that said, guys, we've already heard 2 games from you two, and you've done a great job so far. So let's take it home for Game 3 with Coddle Guy and Draskell.
Thank you much, sir. So, why? Now I can't help but feel like, what if they, instead of that Kunkka Draskell, they just got the AA and could have paired that with the Weaver instead? Do you think the value and utility of Kunkka in this game is still justified for Fnatic?
I think the boat buff is actually going to come in really big. I think that was kind of their answer to the Sand King as well. So like, if you get the boat off like preemptively before the Sand King comes in, then you don't have to worry as much about finding him because you have that damage reduction from the Coco Rum. So when the epicenter comes in, it's not getting like boom instant kills. It's like, okay, we're taking some damage, but it's manageable. And then if you're able to get out of the fight or get a couple of kills before the buff wears off, then you're normally good to go. So I kind of like it. The other thing too is, as Winter and I mentioned, against Furion, having AA and Sky, the heroes have no armor. So you're walking into trees, you're just getting punched. It's an absolute nightmare.
I just like to look at the big picture, I guess. You don't really get down the nitty-gritty where the laning stage also matters so much, and when those heroes are going to be in the laning stage, they're probably going to be stuck with not much to work with when you're going against the...
I mean, it would basically force, if he stays in lane as Furion and they had AA Sky, the AA and the Sky would either have to completely abandon the lane, which means that the Furion farms a lot, or they both have to stay there just to stop him. And that's too much of a commitment for one hero to be shut down. So.
What about for Navi? I mean, they are now going to be the team that run the Huskar. Do you think that there's potential if things tend to go south and, you know, could they be in the same situation as Fnatic where they're putting all their damage on him, or do you think they will have enough well-rounded damage? They also have the Sand King. We'll see if he gets a Blink Dagger.
I think he'll buy Blink. That's my assumption. But I suppose it's possible that they could run into damage issues, but it's very similar to Game 2. You know, if they're ahead, then they don't have to worry about it. But if they start losing these fights, then yeah, you know, you throw a solo Chronosphere onto the Huskar and you might have some issues. Looks like Mushi's gonna get that rune there.
And Dendi will be forced to trot himself all the way back to the bottom lane in what looks like a very scary matchup for Mushi here. A few matchups where Timber not happy to go against a solo melee hero. Right now it looks all nice for him because he's spanking him into the lane, but once the lane comes in, you got the Caustic Finale really bumping on up. That's where trouble could run to Timbersaw. So it'll be an interesting lane to keep tabs on. Well, same with this lane. Ohio, who has the unfortunate hot duty here of just getting hit up by these Scorched Spears with Soniko and Dityara being hand-in-hand in this mid lane.
Now this is something that Fnatic don't really have an answer for. Like, you can't really... You can't do anything to this lane, I feel. You can kill the Wisp, maybe, if you get a rotation in from the Sky or the Kunkka. But I think they want to wait until Ohio gets a couple of levels, so it's going to be the mid-off lane here from Fnatic. Pretty standard stuff. And then, regardless of how hard Fnatic tried to dodge this matchup, they're still going to have to deal with it. Sand King against melee is just unbelievably hard to deal with.
Yeah, you can see a little bit of it there. Now he's going to go for the strike. If he can get some caustic bumps, might not
dead.
be necessary.
Was he still level 1?
Artcel's right there and takes him down.
I think he might have still been level 1 there.
The Timber.
Yeah. Or maybe he just hit 2 when he died. Not sure. Oh, you know what? He skilled Whirling Death. That's why. He doesn't have Chain.
Dire's bottom tower.
Maybe he was just feeling confident that would have been only the
that's why.
Sand King in lane, but didn't bank on the fact that this Chen wants to make his appearance known sooner than later in that bottom lane. Oh.
Ohio manning up.
Yeah.
I mean, Beastmaster he's certainly a hero.
He can. I can't believe how much he's able to tank just some of this casual harassment. I say that, and now he takes like 6 shots, but even then, you know, he'll just have to chew through maybe one tango to get that right again.
Well, once you get level 2 Burning Spear, that's going to be when the real pain starts.
As a support, I know I always hate it. Even at level 1, it's the worst thing that
well, yeah,
happened in the game.
You play Coddle as well, right? So
he eats 1, he's like, I gotta go to Fountain, thank you.
That is the absolute nightmare for sure.
At least I can run there faster, so that's always nice. Thanks to Ice Frog, but nonetheless, still there's a bit of an awkward laning matchup here for Fnatic as they try to find recovery.
Deny the rune.
Mushi. Why? Why do you have to do that? Arcel not making anything easy here for Fnatic.
Yeah, he's having a pretty bad time. I mean, he's got a pretty good amount of CS, but then he's going to pull ahead now that he's been sent kind of back to base, more or less. And this is what NaVi want, you know, they want to win the lanes. They already had a successful gank on bottom. They're getting a little bit of space for the Fury, and if, you know, worst case scenario, he goes to jungle. Nice little aggressive ward coming out there from DJ just to spot him out.
Yeah, he is nursing his point, but, you know, support Kunkka. I mean, there's kill potential there, right? You know,
it's actually super good.
It's super good.
Yeah.
I mean, don't have any follow-up
eHome have been playing it a lot. Like, they played it in the qualifiers a ton.
Yeah. It's really, really nice.
But Lana might actually be, like, the best support Kunkka player in the world right now, so.
Yeah. Okay, they've made their move. There it is. Exhibit A for the Kunkka setup right now. But they do have Sonika who rotates in, offers off his own help, and with the Spirit Power going on through, they're going to be able to take down the Skywrath Mage. Can they make it a 2-for-0 trade? DJ says, I will drop this little title, and you're not going to be able to make it past, but he runs right into trouble. It's Dikira who's got all the power coming out, and will easily be able to take him down. NaVi off to a hot start, 3-0.
Man, Seneko God, just always in the right spot at the right time. Without him, General definitely dies there. And because of it, they get 2 turnaround kills. This is exactly what NaVi are looking for during the early game. I'm kind of surprised that Midwin didn't go for that as well, because Weaver can very easily dive past the tower, right?
Yeah.
You Shikuchi in, you know, you go for these kills. He's either holding on to skill points or he's holding points for sure. Because he has an Aquila, so that's why he has the extra stats. A little bit interesting, but
Very just in his own world, taking the creeps down the top lane. Mushi, who may not know it, is surrounded. Our style, he's coming in. The Bloodhounds are out. Can Mushi find his way out from this one?
Oh,
he's got one level 1 Timber Chain. He just gets right to the front of Artstyle here. Turns the corner. 3-4-3 looks to come in and intercept. Tries to go for Dendy here. Dendy gonna burrow strike in, and now General shows up, makes it a 3-on-2. The stuns come crashing forward. 3-4-3 is gonna go down. Mushi says, I'll at least get that one kill before my own life goes down. And that will be the end of it there. Looks like it turns into a 2-for-2 trade, as they also get Artstyle.
The creeps.
Gonna be sprouted up here. He can't seem to make it past this ridiculous army. Doubles back to go for General instead. General trying to limp his way out. Will be able to make it away. Missed the stomp, so DJ will not get locked down, and he can safely make it back to the tower. But he says, I'll take that Centaur life first. Thank you.
And this is the most action-packed early game we've had all series. Both teams.
Everyone getting involved in this bottom lane pretty much.
They won a battle for sure. And I mean, that's a heck of a lot of space here for the Husker. Just able to freely farm up towards that armlet. I think we haven't really talked about it much because, you know, nothing's really been happening in top lane. But I like the Weaver in theory, but I'm not sure if he's going to hit the proper timing this game that his team needs. Because, you know, you got Chen, you got Husker, Furion. Yeah, exactly. You want, like, at least 2 items, I feel, on that hero minimum. Unless you're, like, going straight Deso, in which case you are extremely susceptible to blink stuns.
Bear with me, he almost feels like he fits that same profile like a Morphling. It's just...
He does.
You know, you got to get at least 2 items. 3, you're great, but you're going against, NaVi, who are not going to allow you a lot of time. Whoa, that was a bit awkward, but Mushi is able to sidestep the Shockwave Blast there. And it looks like he'll live on for the meantime. DJ has rotated in, and they're hoping to catch out Dendy here, but Dendy has taken the correct road up and over and has created the space for himself. to make it to the low ground and good.
Dire's middle tower.
Yeah, Fnatic have a little bit of work they need to do. That being said, NaVi are not really giving him any wiggle room either. They're just going to continue to push in.
Yep, as expected here, because
that's the other problem too, right? Like Mushi's not 6, so there's no deep push. Like without Chakram, you know, you're not going to be able to do anything here. Ohio is not even level 5. Oh my god.
They don't even have to worry about big team fight potential from Fnatic yet. There's no Roar setup right now, and no boat. So, you know, this is NaVi's time to just quickly take out tier 1s. It doesn't feel like Fnatic are going to be ready yet to kind of pull out their own 5-on-5 defense. They were trying to make some rotations in these lanes to kind of have a numbers advantage to maybe get some picks on the NaVi, but yeah, and when the team fight breaks out here, it's going to go NaVi's way, it feels like, firstly. I mean, they're going to have relocate up soon, I'd imagine, on their Wisp. So I'm curious how anxious they are going to be to try to go on the offensive with it, or if NaVi feel like, oh, this is our pace and we can just kind of...
I mean, they can do that. That's a nice thing about their lineup is they have a lot of ways they can play. They have a lot of global presence. Okay, at the center, going to be a little bit wasted here.
Yeah. And then we get a big target. Artstyle will be going down. Mushi crushes him in. And now they'll get the follow-up. NaVi will respond, taking down 3-4-3. Mushi's thinking about kind of moving for Dendi here. Bursting down very low. Dendi trying to head to the tower and away from Soniko. He goes down. And now Ditya comes in from that same tower, is able to truck on forward. They will take Mushi down. Turns into now a 3-for-2 triple kill for General as he's able to kind of clean it up on the back of his Nature's Prophet. Suddenly a wild mid-1 Weaver shows up from the top lane, and he's looking to go for a cleanup on Soniko in the back lines. Can he tether away? Whee! Tries to make it back it out. It looks like he might be able to make it away. He is juking and jiving around, and mid-1 says, you know what? Forget it. Tries to run away instead, but Soniko hits him with a Spirit Ball, and they get the last right click. Oh, it goes from bad to worse for Fnatic.
Oh my god. Okay, so the whole premise of that fight seemed a little bit weird to me because they're... Okay, when you're playing against Fury and Wisp, you kind of want to engage onto those two heroes unless you have a good counter initiation for the relocate, which I would say Fnatic don't really, except for the fact that, you know, Mushi does damage. And speaking of damage, goodbye.
Mushi dead, thinking he can man up there against Ditya, but he's got plenty of help nearby.
Yeah, Fnatic... I wouldn't recommend going on anything but the Furion or the Wisp partner hero, because otherwise you have that scenario right there. Like, they commit heavily to a fight, there's a teleport that comes in from the Furion, the fight gets turned, and then all of a sudden life is hard. So I'm not sure if I agree with that. I can understand them feeling a little bit pressured because they haven't been winning the early game, but on paper you kind of have to assume that NaVi are going to win the early game no matter what. And there will reach a stage when that Weaver becomes extremely dangerous. It's just a matter of, you know, the rest of Fnatic buying enough time for that to happen right now, because I don't know, outside of getting, you know, boat buff going on the Kunkka, that there's really that much else to look forward to on their lineup. It's like, okay, yeah, we got Skywrath ulti with Roar, which is a pretty strong combination, but there is Chen heal, there's Overcharge as well with the tether and whatnot, so...
There's plenty of ways for NaVi to kind of shrug off the wham-bam combo of Fnatic when it does finally come out here, but... You know, when you're looking at this game and this is a NaVi Huskar game, this is how it should feel. Like the Huskar's at the top. It's only 9 minutes in, but I feel like it's been going on forever, and he's just been a tirade that's been kind of tough to deal with here. So NaVi making good track with the tempo of their game. It looks like they've been spotted out in Ohio here, who's just trying to simply farm his way back into the game. And he's dead now. Epicenter will be committed for it, but that means they don't have to worry about the Roar here when they engage in this top for Tier 1.
Yeah, he's almost got Blink too, so like 600 away. They might get Artstyle though. He's got a lot of creeps with him.
Good1 needs to avoid all those creeps though. Gets netted down. Can he get bursted? He will. He'll go down trying to catch the Chen here.
That was so nicely done, actually. Is Mushi gonna burn? Yep. See ya.
Okay. And he picks up that one too. 14-4. It ain't gonna get any easier for Fnatic, as now they've spotted out 3-4-3, but after the burrow, he will be able to TP away.
Now things are kind of falling apart here in game number 3, huh?
Yeah, NaVi have, this time they've gotten a good draft for themselves. They're going with the pacing they like, and so far have not kind of wavered and got too content with where they are. They seem to be just kind of going down the checklist as they should. And maybe some more pressure on the tier 1s for them to kind of pick up the pace a bit, but yeah, it's certainly going their way.
The mobility of Navi's draft is just so hard to deal with. Like, whenever you take an engagement and it's not like perfect, you get a kill, you get out. Then now you have to worry about relocate, you have to worry about Fury and teleport, you know, Blink, Sand King. Everywhere you go on the map for Fnatic is a dangerous spot to be right now.
Yeah, even a solo pick could quickly turn to a 3-on-2 because of the double rotation.
That advantage.
It's such a big graph. Navi flexing their 10K plus net worth right now. Pretty nice. And they will go right into the pit and make it that much bigger as they claim up the ages on this one. Fnatic are in the neighborhood. They're heading over. I don't know what they think they can do about it, but it's only the two of them here. They're going for a fancy Aegis steal.
There's no way.
Oh, it's done and we're smoked. Whoa, we better get out of here.
Time to bail, boys.
They don't know where to go. Half of them are heading north, another half heading south. Still behind Navi. DJ's been spotted, so Navi think they can make a move for that. And then they also spot out the 3-4-3 Skywrath Mage. They'll quickly take care of him. DJ's going to frantically dish out the boat, but then he'll get pounced on. Oh, it's Fnatic, unfortunately, just getting spotted out right after the conclusion of this Roche, and Navi just kind of clearing them out here.
They got one.
They did get one. The Beastmaster, who had headed south, got his own kill.
Yeah, I think you actually kind of hit the nail on the head with one of the biggest issues of Fnatic's lineup is the Weaver timing. It's just not working. Like, they need something that can fight a lot sooner, or mid-one just needs to be a lot more proactive about how he's playing it. Because Weaver's mobility can still be abused during the early game when there's only one stun, right? So you throw the Swarm out, you Shikuchi in, you deal some damage. I don't know how often they've picked Weaver recently. I don't know if it's something that they allude to very often, but I think that the hero can still be played in a much more aggressive fashion, and given the pacing of the game, that Navi, I mean, he's dead now, yeah. But given the pacing, I still feel like he should be a little bit more active than he is. Like, too much time spent like split pushing and whatnot.
Ohio also going to get hit. Navi covering split pushers from both sides of the globe on this one, and it just ain't easy. It's the global presence you were mentioning before. I mean, that top kill probably was just led in from a Sand King burrow, and then the Wisp just kind of tagged in.
Oh, they epied him. Yeah, they epied him for sure.
And Navi's full team not even necessary for that. They
can go high ground with this, honestly. Like,
Dire's bottom tower.
Denny might be in some trouble here. That was not the burrow.
Oh, but then just like that, suddenly
JK.
two people come in and it's a 3-on-1. What started as a 1-on-1 where Mushi was winning turned into a 3-on-1 where Navi will easily clean it up.
Dude, this is, you know that the game is really bad when the net worth is separated by color.
Oh, I thought he just kindly organized that for us, Draskell.
No, that's we're having a bad time right now.
Oh yeah, this is turning into a shutout pretty much with net worth all belonging to Navi on this one. They might lose some people here, and Fnatic could get a pretty forgiving net worth swing if this Navi squad can't kind of recollect at this point. It looks like Dendy will commit in once more. They're looking to burst down Ohio. Boat does fly. The rump should help mitigate the damage here from Fnatic, but yeah, it's just too much to tank through a mid-one, even with the help of the boat. It looks like he's been brought pretty low, tries to make it away. DJ gets bursted down, and General is going to grab the double kill in the back end of this one. Fnatic lose 3, and they throw in the towel. Navi will take our first best of 3 of the Star Series. Oh, yeah.
So it was, the last time they met up, it was the exact same result, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Exact same result.
So I think that this game pretty much just from the get-go was all Navi. You know, they get the kill on Mushi very early on because he was on level 2, didn't have Timber Chain. The lanes from Fnatic felt impossible to win, right? Because you have this Timber Stop against Sand King. We talked about during the draft how you didn't even want that matchup in the first place, and that's why Mushi didn't go mid. And then you have like this Huskar plus IO mid against a Beastmaster. Like, Beastmaster can't do anything in that lane. And then top, okay, we're getting some farm on mid one, but he was, I would say, he didn't get a single kill, not an assist or a kill. He was just never there. Like, absolutely zero contribution from the Weaver. So, all that being said, it was a 14-minute game. But I just feel like lanes, everything for Fnatic just totally fell on its face this game.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of the pacing we were expecting from Navi for like game number 1. It suits their playstyle nicely, and this time they didn't, get ahead of themselves in any sort of capacity, and were able to kind of use their advantage and just steamroll through Fnatic. Now, this isn't the end of Fnatic. Obviously, this is a double elimination bracket. We'll be seeing from them again in the lower bracket. But for Navi, they will be the first team to kind of advance in that second round. They had to go against the team that they had just faced at the Summit, but new challenge and new opponent does await them moving on. So with that, we're back at the couch right now. I believe we are going to be cutting to a small break, and then we come back, we get the full couch involved on what they felt of game number 3.
E-Gaming Bets. We accept bets on computer games